Music tutorials. It's episode 240, and it is the second episode on a new space. This, if you guys have watched some other videos, you're gonna see this is the third space I'm making those videos. Of course, it's a lot of videos. It's over a long period of time, and I always make music in real time. I won't change this format. This is what I want to do. This is what I want to showcase to you guys, how to really, what the process is, and the feedback that I had so far is very good. People love to see the little tricks, how it's built, how it evolved, and how they can replicate the same in their own music production. And of course, when I finish the session, every single episode comes with a Logic Pro X template, so you guys can reopen the project in your own DAW if you use Logic Pro X. And of course, coming very soon, every single popular DAW, which I consider is Logic Pro X, Ableton, FL Studio, and Cubase, will all have episodes. So past episode 250, I'm preparing something for everyone to be able to play with those tracks that I'm making. So I hope you guys will enjoy these. But until in a few episodes, I'm gonna continue Logic Pro X. I'm just gonna prepare to the transition to have different DAWs. And guys, this episode 240, I'm gonna make you some deep progressive. If you watch some episode, you know it's something that I like to do. It's in between deep house, progressive house, sometimes a little bit of techno infused. You can call it melodic techno too if you want. It's like just deep, like melodic music. It has inspiration in, you know, a little bit of, maybe a little bit of trance, a bit for me, a little bit of progressive rock. Of course, Angel Deep, which is the leading people that really release this type of music, and also my record label Progressive Grooves that's been releasing this type of music since 2005, guys. So this is the music I do. Used to be a bit faster, now it's a bit slower. So I'm actually starting with a drum beat that I got, so I just jump straight into production. And if you watch a few of those videos, you know that I basically talk more and more about what I am doing so you guys can understand. So I have this drum beat here. This is the episode 235, how to make powerful drum beats. I cut a few things because it was a bit too rich to kick it off. And I'm also gonna drop, when I think about it, this output mastering sequence. I just want it raw like this so I'm able to do something. And I was thinking before I do this episode, I'm gonna start with something like a bass, but not necessarily like a plucky bass, maybe more like a drawn bass, like a doom doom, you know, not quite a brass too, but as you see, I know it's a keyboard, like many people, like deadmau5, like a lot of people on their keyboard making music in planes and cafes everywhere. And you know, keyboards they're nice in the studio, but it's not a necessity anymore, mostly for electronic music producers. So it's the case for me too for the last 5 years. Before that, yeah. Let me know, guys, in the comment about the echo of the room. If it's, I think I'm gonna bring this a bit closer. Okay, I'm gonna have to bring up musical typing. And then not quite what I'm looking for here. This is a bit intense. This is okay. It's a bit too aggressive. I'm talking about aggressive. This could be good, but I'm not sure if I... That could be good. like this, just a little sequence. It's like a starting point to a track. A starting point to a track could be really anything. You just drop a sample, you can record something, you know, it's really, is for me, with all these years, if you guys don't know, I make music for over 20 years, I know that the track can really start from nothing or for something very complicated. So I like the sequence of note, not so sure about the placements though, so I'm gonna keep a little bit of the original idea. I think I would do, this is a bit, no, I wouldn't call it strange, but it's different, that's for sure. And if the notes are overlapping, you can hear it doesn't punch as much, so this is why I'm doing this. So I'm cutting it. So if it would be overlapping, it would have like a different effect, so to me this is an interesting start. Let's see. Glide doesn't affect it very much. Cut off. Not really. Cut off too. Ooh. Strangely, I'd like to give it a bit of reverb for a bass. It's a bit more strange. There's nothing really strange in music production these days. You can do anything you want really, so I'm gonna do my grandiose, but I will drop the size a lot. This is a bit too gigantic. So what I'm feeling really right away is that would be nice to have some nice plucks in there. And I know usually I use only Logic, but I don't really care really. So I'm gonna go in silent one. I'm gonna go the factory here that I have in there, definitive collection. I'm gonna pick some plucks. This one here. I'm gonna go into plucks, which is a bit further. So I don't know about you guys, for me the idea is forming in my head as I go, so I'm thinking, okay, some plucks. I'm gonna pick some keys from the original here to create like a pluck sequence. It's gonna be in tune with the original idea. I have an idea of like some quick pluck hits like this. And bring it up. much tone into the key of the bass, so it's gonna be really hard to do anything with the top. I'm gonna keep just the low of the bass. I wouldn't do a progression in the keys too, because it's gonna get too busy and complicated. I like the bass the way it is down in the back. I'm gonna go into silent and it's tight, it is tight. It's just there's quite a bit of delay, I think, in there. I can still browse a little. This is flat. This is sound, this is true, that sounds so much like Dead Mouse. This is nice too. Really deep prog chill. Bass is nice here in the back. Then I would go into a pad, and since we're using silent, guys, I mean, why not use silent? I use only silent for so many years, really, until I just got into Logic and they dropped Alchemy. Then I was like, oh, Alchemy is actually better. I mean, silent is still such a classic that cannot really do without it. And mostly this legendary pad, for me at least, is the Anjuna pad. I don't know if it's Anjuna Deep or Anjuna, but sound like this. I'm gonna go a bit higher. Now to drop like a simple kind of melody. Has to be drawn, spaced out, not too intense. You know, you have the pad there running, you have the bass. You don't want to really overcrowd like your sonic territory, so I'm like... And also, of course, the key has to work, so... D, E, E. Something like this, turn, turn, turn. No. Definitely like better the second version here. Oh guys, there's an ant. Oh. Damn guys, there's an ant died in the making of this episode. Sorry, there's a bit of an invasion here, so... Oh. No. This is good. Now that I have a lead, we have to mix it in properly, so I'm gonna cut the top. I think there's a bit too much resonance, I would say. It all has to work together. There's a bit of a problem here with my MIDI. the bass is in the right place. I think this pad is cool too. I think it would be good to maybe follow this bass with the silent pad. Oh, I should have just done this here. So I'm gonna replicate this, the pad that we just created. I'm gonna use the bass keys. Try to edit in the background as a drawny pad. Maybe it's gonna work, maybe not. Maybe it's a bit too high. Oh, this is nice. You don't really hear it so much, so you can also pick another pad. So, you know, when I listen to this after I'm progressing with the other synth part, I'm like, don't like those plucks so much anymore. So I'm thinking, oh, there's many. Okay, where we here. I think I will restart at the top and. Well. To me, somehow they all sound very much the same. Oh, that I like. It's not so plucky. A lot of, had a lot of sustain or something. No, not quite either. Oh yeah, that in the mix. Immediately. Clean. So what do we put into a track like this? I think we need like an element that will really not define the track, because we have the melodies, we have everything. We need to make the track stand out with something like an effect or something that would be very, that make this part special. Oh, sorry guys. So what we'll do is I'm gonna go, I think, into cinematic or maybe percussions. I'm gonna try to find like a sound effect or a soundscape that will really bring like some dimension to the track. And in Alchemy, there's plenty of this. This is perfect for. It's classic almost. put a bit of reverb in there. Something like that. This is sequence, and because it's an atmosphere kind of bass, I think it would be different every time it will hit, so that should be interesting. Let's hear it. Yeah, every time it hits is different because there's so much LFO and effects in there. Okay, that's one effect. I think I could add a little bit more to add some dimension to make it more interesting. So we have a lot in there, of course. Ooh, growling. Interesting. Not for us right now, but caffeine effect. I like some of that. Oh, this is a bit crunchy, I would say. Let's hear it. It's like somebody's eating in like a cardboard cup or something. Oh, that's nice. So I'm gonna take the key of this kind of weird voice thing and I'm gonna apply it to, let's say, a hit of this here. So now we have a type of a drowny kind of track that's really deep, that has some weird elements to it, so it's distinctive, so it's not gonna sound like anybody else just tried to make a track in that style. Now we can add some percussions. I think these plucks need to be sidechain. I think this is what was missing that I didn't thought about, because those with a sidechain will definitely gonna work. Instrument, kick. This one that I use, yes. So the plugs are there really mainly to support the beat, to get the flow going, you know, because without them, I mean, it's nice, could be doable, but it doesn't, for me it's not groovy enough. And those voices here, let's check them out. Let's go in the EQ. Let's make sure we're not adding any bottom to our track. If we want to really funk it up, I think we could go probably into multi-effect and do a step effects on them. So the original was good, but you know, with some step effect. Oh, this one I used quite a few tracks, so it was cool before, but now you really have like a voicey kind of feel. Remove a bit of the Asian kind of thing in there, so it's trippy. I like that. Let's hear this caffeine effect. I'll give it more reverb. I want just almost only the reverb signal from there. It's crazy what you can do with just a good mix, a little bit of effect, you know, in comparison. Now we have this pad here, which I think could use. I'm gonna drop the musical typing here, bring up my mixer. A little bit of sidechain compression, that is. Oh, I wanted to copy it, I didn't. Now we have a bit of sidechain compression here. Could we hear? Can we hear? Is it there a little? Oh. This is the melody that should be much more present than this. I'm gonna go into the preset of it. I think I did change this preset and it's not what I wanted to do, so I will bring it back to what it should be, this. So, listening to this now, right away I'm thinking, okay, these vocals with this lead now, because that take the space, so they will have to be segmented in different parts, of course. So we're actually gonna start segmenting it a little bit now. This could go sometimes, it's just an effect, you know, but like a rich song has to be like an adventure, like something epic. Like I like this guy, I was watching this guy that mixed the Weeknd album, if you guys know the Weeknd. I like every type of music, so I'm not electronic only in electronic music. And this guy was saying that for every song he wanted to build a whole story, like it would be an adventure, like with some effects and stuff, and you can hear that in the album. It's the same thing I think that sometimes misses in electronic music, is like you have a track, like it's just a track, and the track is only for the DJ to be played, and he creates the adventure. While I personally think that every track should be an adventure. There should be effect, there should be something exciting, you know, like you have pioneer of this that were doing progressive rock in the 70s and 80s that were like, the tracks were just absolutely crazy because they were like a whole story happening with like sound effects and stuff. And you know, Alan Parsons Project, Pink Floyd, Yes, Rush, you know, those groups made, you know, music that was a bit beyond music, that was really like an adventure for every track. So I could also do a semi-sequence here. So let's say we cut the first, we just use the first. Do this, and then the second sequence here. So we do a longer span with different part. I would cut this one here to let it simmer a little bit. Let's say we would have some vocals, you know, a little bit in there. Then again, repeating, first sequence, vocals. Let's not forget we also get a really nice bass at the top here that we can use in the breakdown in different parts. So guys, that's gonna be it for episode 240 of your live electronic music tutorials. I'm gonna put in some more work, put it as a template on our site, wemakedancemusic.com. I didn't talk about We Make Dance Music, guys. If you're still watching, you have to check out our site. We are the largest marketplace for music production. Over 12,000 items, 500 producers that upload music regularly. Every day there's new stuff coming. So if you want to make better music, check out our marketplace at wemakedancemusic.com. And until next time, may the sounds be with you.